Right. So if you have read and understood, considering its surgical pathologist patient, kindly tell me what are your differential diagnosis for this patient?
Ma'am, my first diagnosis will be aortic stenosis, ma'am,
Very
as
good.
the patient is having a crescendo decrescendo type of murmur, which is going
And
up to carotid, ma'am,
yes, and
and
Gallup.
and and gallop, C for gallop, and patient is having a stable angina, ma'am.
Yes, all right. So can you tell me what is the classic triad of aortic stenosis that you look for?
Ma'am, there will be angina, ma'am. Then there will be a exertional dyspnea and syncope, ma'am.
Okay. And what are the signs of aortic stenosis that one
Ma'am,
should keep in their mind?
ma'am, on clinical, the clinical signs are, ma'am, there will be pulses alternates.
Yes.
There will be a split to S2, ma'am. There will be a
Yes.
decrescendo murmur going up
Very
to
good.
carotid, ma'am.
Okay.
Going up
Can
to
you tell
carotid.
me the pathophysiology behind the aortic stenosis?
Ma'am, aortic stenosis can happen in rheumatic heart disease. It can
Yes.
happen in a calcification of congenitally bicuspid valve, or it can happen in the senile calcified valves, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, in the
Pathophysiology.
ma'am, as ma'am, in the as ma'am, there will be valve become progress as there will be a progression from cyclosis to stenosis. Left
Yes.
ventricular starts concentrically enlarged, ma'am,
Yes.
to increase the afterload, ma'am, to encounter the chronic resistance to systolic ejection, ma'am,
Yes.
and there will be a hypertrophy of the left ventricle.
Very good.
As there is will be a left ventricle hypertrophy, there will be a decrease in the elasticity of the left ventricle, which leads to diastolic dysfunction, leads to less decrease in the stroke volume, and there will be a there will be a left ventricular hypertrophy, which leads to regurgitation of the mitral valve, leads to enlarge which can leads
Subendocardial
to increase
ischemia.
in the
Yes.
endocardial ischemia, and ma'am, there will be a backward transmission of the increased left ventricular pressure to the lungs, which can lead to pulmonary venous hypertension and reactive
Yes.
vasoconstriction of the pulmonary vasculature, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Can you tell me the complications that can occur as a result of aortic stenosis?
Ma'am, if it can be, ma'am, aortic dissection as well as sudden MI, ma'am, myocardial infarction, ma'am.
Yes, can lead to even heart failure, pulmonary edema, cardiac arrest, etc.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am, congestive heart failure.
If you'll do ECG at this moment, what would it show?
Ma'am, there will be widened QRS complex, ma'am, and increase
Can you help me to read this? Is it visible enough for you to read?
uh, ma'am, as we can see in the, ma'am, actually it is very blurred actually, ma'am.
Yes.
What we can see, ma'am, tall PQRS complexes, ma'am, in the V3, V4 segments, ma'am. We can see very tall QRS complexes, which can seen in ventricular hypertrophy, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell me what are the causes of aortic stenosis?
Ma'am, aortic stenosis can happen due to rheumatic heart disease. It can happen due to senile calcific aortic stenosis, and it can be due to calcification of the congenitally bicuspid valve, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell me how this stenosis occurs?
Ma'am, first there will be a lipid accumulation, ma'am. Then there will be inflammation. Then there will be a calcification, which lead to valve thickening and stenosis, leading to fish mouth appearance, fish mouth stenosis.
All right. Can you please tell me that once aortic stenosis has occurred, what is the management that you can offer to the patient?
Ma'am, we will investigate the patient through echocardiography. As ma'am, normally the aortic valve size is 2.5 to 3.5 centimeters square. If it is less than 1.5, it is a severe stenosis, ma'am. Then we will assess with the echocardiography uh, what is the gradient between aorta and the left ventricle. According to that, if the patient can sustain a if patient can't sustain a major surgery after discussing with MDT board, we can go for valvuloplasty. Otherwise, we will go for a valve replacement, ma'am.
Okay. Once valve replacement has been done, what is the risk that you should keep in your mind all the time, or
Ma'am,
that you should
there
look
is a
out
risk
for?
of ma'am, there is a risk of infective endocarditis. we
Yes.
need to start and there will be the risk of, we need to start the patient on we need to start the patient on thromboprophylaxis.
Yes. Okay. How do you determine which thromboprophylactic medications should be given?
Ma'am, if patient can take orally, ma'am, we can start the patient on warfarin, ma'am,
Okay.
1 to 10 milligram per day, ma'am.
Just suppose patient was operated and metallic valve was set in, and then patient develops infective endocarditis and comes to you. What advice would you give to the patient?
Ma'am, if the patient develops infective endocarditis, ma'am, we need to take the blood culture, and according to culture and sensitivity reward, we need to start the patient on IV antibiotics for minimum of 6 weeks, ma'am.
Okay, but what would you do with the metallic valve? Would that stay, or is it a septic focus?
No,
or
ma'am, we need to remove the septic
Yes,
foci, ma'am.
this
We
you
need to
have to
remove the
tell me.
septic foci, ma'am.
Okay, what would be the, okay, why? Because this microscopic branching, what would it show?
Ma'am, if there will be a micro branching is there, it suggests a fungal infection. We need to look for Candida, Aspergillus, Trichophyton, Epidermophyton, and Microsporium.
Okay, how would you follow up the patient afterwards?
Ma'am,
You
we need
remove the,
to
yes, infective endocarditis, you remove the valve. What would you do then? For 6 weeks, you give antibiotics, then would you redo the valve
ma'am, we
replacement
need to
or
look
what?
for the ma'am. I need to discuss the case in MDT board, ma'am,
Yes.
and
Who
according to
would you
that, we need
involve
to have
in the
a
management? Yes, of this patient.
ma'am. I will involve the cardiologist, infection control team, and
Yes.
anesthesiologist, ma'am,
Yes,
and ICU
and cardiac
intensivist too,
surgeon as well, who will be
and cardiac
operating
surgeon.
on it. Okay. Meanwhile, where do you intend to manage this patient?
Ma'am, I will manage this patient in ICU, ma'am, intensive care unit.
Okay,
As
this
the patient require
yes,
two system monitoring, cardiac as well as uh, other system monitoring, and
all
we
right,
need one-to-one nursing.
one-to-one nursing as well. So, okay, can you please tell me this warfarin coagulation system? Once you give warfarin, so it affects which coagulation system, intrinsic or extrinsic?
Ma'am, it will affect the extrinsic system, ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay,
because
can you,
it affects the vitamin K epoxide reductase enzyme, and it will decrease the formation of 2, 7, 9, 10
right,
clotting factor, ma'am.
can you define the term thrombus?
Ma'am, thrombus is, ma'am, solid material formed due to activation of the uh, clotting mechanism, ma'am.
Okay, in blood fine, yes, all right, good, thank you. So aortic stenosis and rheumatic heart disease we have done, and infective endocarditis will do tomorrow. Right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.